Actually, you're probably not going to get 2 months sec. Maybe Air Max Chemical Co.
You've got this. Don't let up.
Coming.
Spotted an enemy heavy.
The attackers have been repelled.
Towards,
Flip auxiliary. Everybody up to auxiliary. Flip it.
Command 2, what are you doing right now?
We're flipping McCall Auxiliary right now. Our Sunders got
Man, we
blown
are
up.
hitting into Arsenal. We're just trying to
beacons
get
so
pop
other
over
people
here.
can bring up Sunders.
Copy. Once you get the pop over there, pop
I
up
see a
the
live
top
Sunday
for me.
up there right now.
Copy that.
CC, I've got one squad going, or one guy going over to try to flip that point for you. He's on point right now, in process.
Copy. Alright, all squads get up to auxiliary. All squads to auxiliary.
Roy, we could use a squad or 2 at Aeromax. 4, what are you doing right now? We're going to come on over as soon as
Take him back.
Firearms. Minute 15 left. 2 cabs. Copy. I noticed there's 1224 at Rexcom substation. Is that you 4?
Justicia on all call. 15 minutes remaining in the match. Now, 15 minutes remaining.
Alright, well there's someone there at a Rexcom network hub. There's like 2 squads there. I'm not sure if my squad map hasn't updated or what. They need to get moved.
Delta, I need you all of your guys up here at auxiliary.
CC, Delta's moving, thank you. No, it's not us. Is it us? Well, I'm not in squad with them, so. Alright. This match was lost. What do you guys want to do for the last 15 minutes?
I mean, we should.
I want to
continue
keep
fighting.
fighting. I'm not gonna fucking roll over.
Oh, no, I'm not saying we roll over. Like, what do you guys want to do for the last 15 minutes? What?
Nothing. Never mind. It's a bad joke.
The question is, what bases do you want to take? How do you guys want to end this out?
CC, enemy Air Force.
Sure. Once you get it from Holland, if you guys get that, then I will have you guys go up to the mountain. Yeah, because somebody just freed up. I think Aramax Chemical Co. Pull out, go to 2 months cargo facility.
Alright guys, we're pulling out, going to 2 Moss Cargo.
Generator destroyed.
CC confirmed 2 months cargo.
Confirmed.
CC, Ekus is going to secure AFC and then push north to Novamore.
Alright.
Come on, fill that guy full of rockets. Don't let him just float there. Fuck that guy.
We're trying to re-pull over Sungray. A lot of people are out of resources right now. We're getting AA pulled from Sungray.
Bursters, baby! Light them on fire! Cook that turkey! Yeah! Suck on that freedom! We got some more customers right up above. Aim straight up.
Enemy galaxy in the air. Enemy galaxy in the air. Good as new.
I got them about halfway, man. Keep lighting them up. Make that son of a bitch run!
CC, where is Alpha required? Ekus?
AFC if you can make it.
The NC needs this facility. Step it up.
Oh, make that turkey cook! Yeah, that's right. Suck on that freedom. Let's get in that building. Flip that point, baby. Let me see that bacon fry.
Enemy medic spot.
CC, Ekus needs new orders.
All right, we need a res grenade out here. Freedom needs some healing.
If you can get down here to... if you can get down here to cargo facility. Otherwise, I need you up at AFC. I'm in the wrong fucking channel. Get to AFC if you can. If not, come down at the cargo facility.
CC, copy.
I'll get you fixed up. Take some ammunition. I'll get you fixed up. Hostile gas in the area. Hostile gas in the area.
Oh, no, you don't. You ain't gonna fucking drop on this base.
I'll start repairs. Got extra ammunition.
CC, where do you want Delta?
Man, who's at Barrack Electric Station, and why are we losing it with 65% of the population in the hack?
Buses
CC,
inside.
Delta confirmed.
Copy.
We're working them. We're good about.
Counter them with your own buses.
CC, Ecus managed to flip compound. You want us to abandon or keep it? Or go for it?
Ah, keep it.
CC, copy. Ecus will focus on compound. You heard that, right, OC?
Yep.
And we got 8 minutes left. Let's not lose Thunder Amp Station on this one, here. It looks like we're doing okay there.
CC enemy Air Force at AFC.
Justicia on all call. 7 minutes remaining in the match. Now, 7 minutes remaining.
I've got ammo for you here.
Where is it?
Anyone, need ammo? I'm an engineer. I'll repair you. Yes, down one side. Use ammunition. Stay alert. Enemy nearby.
C, can we get any friendly air support at AFC?
Hey, check it out, guys. I want everybody to respawn at Zealous Biolab and pull a Reaver.
CC confirmed. Zealous Reavers.
Zealous Reavers back to AFC.
CC, Delta is maintaining AFC. We have burster maxes up already.
Copy, that's good enough. Oh wow, they got air over here shooting down our air. Yeah, get to Zealous and pull Reavers.
They're trying to take Emmerich AirX, which would warp gate us, so we should probably stop that.
Yeah, let's stop that. Who's free right now? Goku, Arc Reserve. Drop what you're doing.
Yeah, let's not get warp gated. Just yeah.
Yeah, I'm on it.
CC, they just brought a full platoon of Tumas cargo.
Yep. They also just dropped a full platoon on ARX.
Justicia on all call. 4 minutes remaining in the match. Now, 4 minutes remaining.
Get more people back to Emmerich AirX. Only outpopping by 5%.
Arc's good.
Alright.
Command, AFC is not capable in time. If you're at AFC, redeploy to 2 months cargo. Protect that. AFC is not cappable in time.
Alright, guys.
Ignore it.
They cannot cap AFC. Get over to Tumas Cargo.
Barrack's gonna be tough.
Okay. Barrack's gonna be tough because they have a giant, they have a lot of doubts and a lot of stuff.
Copy. Tumas is savable. If you're up, immediately redeploy. Tumas Cargo.
Platoon 5 is all in it.
I need everybody at Tumas Cargo.
Prep Power Hub, go to Westgate. Westgate can cap in time. Power Hub cannot. McCall Auxiliary can cap in time, I think. No, it cannot. Maybe. Yeah, no. McCall Auxiliary can cap in time if you guys get on the point. I doubt you're going to. Arcs Reserve has 30 seconds before it can cap in time. 30 seconds before Arcs Reserve can cap in time. So make sure they don't take this back. You guys are fine. Leave Arcs Reserve. Arcs Reserve is fine. I want everybody at Arcs Reserve going to Barrack Electric Station.
Two minutes remaining.
Alright, everybody out of Arcs Reserve. Everybody out of Arcs Reserve. Cannot cap in time. Westgate can cap in time.
92, here's a Westgate. We're going to need backup.
Copy. Barrack can cap in time.
Reloading, cover me. Cease fire, I'm a friendly. Stay alert, enemy.
1 minute.
It's all me, sorry. Enemy down, ammunition here. Cease fire, I'm a friendly. Check your fire, I'm NC. Reloading.
CC, Tumas will not flip in time.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. End of match.
Get back to the warp gate.
With the result of 64 against 33, Cobolt wins the final match. Congratulations,
I don't know
Cobolt.
what the fuck they're reading off, because it's 63 to 35 on my screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I just updated, never mind. It just updated. Alright guys, good game.
Welp.
We split up way too much. We split our platoons way too much in the early game.
Yeah, we got things to talk about.
Yeah. Can I get platoon leads up into command chat real quick?
Disconnected from your channel.
Have a platoon leads up into command lead.
Okay.
The high comm
Got
channel.
ammo for you
Yeah,
here.
can we also get squad leads?
Channel
Yeah,
switched.
coming up.
Oof. I want to talk about this real quick.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
Well, yeah.
CC, you have squad lead
The air guys in here?
Yeah, they're coming right now.
Are they in here right now?
They're coming.
Don't play the blame game
Confirm
here.
last.
I'm not playing the blame game here.
User joined your channel.
No one's at fault.
User
They beat us. Whatever.
Yeah, it was.
Yep,
it
they
was.
played well.
They played really well. We split up our platoons way
User
too
joined
early.
your channel.
We didn't move as a unit.
User
I think
joined
that's
your
what happened.
channel. User joined your channel.
We
User
were
joined
way
your
too
channel.
confident going into this.
Agreed.
User joined your channel.
Oh, I completely disagree.
User joined your channel.
Alright.
User joined your channel.
squad leads up here.
So let's do this real quick. What worked and what didn't?
User joined your channel.
CC, I'd like to start real quick, as I know I have to leave here in about 15 minutes, so...
Sure.
I will admit that I purposely split up the guys that were going to Nevermore, but that had not been a problem. I sent 4 guys to Nevermore. We did get the capture point, but we could not maintain. Too many people showed up too quickly to allow us to take it effectively. And then getting my guys back from the ascent was a big hassle because we still didn't have a Sunday yet. We were still waiting to get our Sunday deployed when we got, it looked like almost a full platoon, if not full platoon, of VS. Hit us hard very quickly early on. That's Nevermore.
Yeah. They successfully interdicted at Nevermore, and that was not, that should not have happened.
User joined your channel.
What happened at NC Arsenal?
What is that?
Some guy
Is
came
this,
in.
is this for real?
Well played.
Yeah, Cobolt, just kick him. Please kick him.
Hey, good job, Cobolt.
No, let's mute him.
Yeah, isn't that what they specifically told us?
Hang on.
Not to do?
User left your channel.
Okay.
Left your channel.
So NC Arsenal is what you're talking about?
Yeah, what happened there?
When we first went in, it was fine.
Some guy got banned.
And then after their first initial air zerg, it came back again, and then just kept coming back, and...
Oh, what happened up at NC Arsenal is the question you were asking?
Yeah.
That was a mass air hyperdunk.
Yeah.
User left your channel.
It was straight up population. When
it was. We were overpopped, and they probably had 50% of their people pulling sides repeatedly. So yeah, everyone on the ground was just getting farmed.
Yeah.
And as soon as the air came in the head,
Now,
it
if
started
you
over
watch
Sundays all once.
carefully, they fast capped to the north and at Araxicom network air. So they capped North Grove and Araxicom network while we were still waiting on the TR timer to tick away at NC Arsenal. And they shifted all of that air from those 2 bases back to NC Arsenal and swiped us right as we had, I don't know, maybe 3 minutes left. So, you know, right as soon as the TR part of the timer had ticked down, they redeployed all of their air back over.
Yeah.
User joined
in the opening...
So,
sorry,
air does cap points when it's to the point where we can't actually get on point because we're getting farmed by air.
User joined your channel.
Who knew?
Alright, they want me for an interview, but I want to keep talking about this, so hang out here, guys, if you can.
Okay.
I'm going to do the interview real quick.
Yeah, I'll kind of keep things moving. It should be in the... Sorry, go ahead.
User left your channel.
Yeah, I would say that at least that opener was lost in the middle and the north. You guys in the south seem to do alright. I don't know if that was because all the air was in the north. I don't know where their air was. But, yeah. So, whatever happened in the middle was also a total disaster. I know you guys were just talking about something went terribly wrong. But clearly, yeah, there you go. Can I get on Lithcorp before? I don't know.
No,
but we didn't even have Raven's Landing, so
that
was a total fuck up.
When the whole Raven's Landing thing was pretty much what we did in the last server smash, is exactly what they did to us.
But it shouldn't really even be possible.
They got to... I was leading the squad at Ravens, and I put 4 people on Ravens, but that should have worked, but they got there right as we got there, and they put almost a full platoon, I think, and there was no way to successfully take that with a single squad at that time. And then we still had to get a Sunday up.
Well,
before
absolutely.
we could
I just mean you should have the point flipped before they arrive. I was under the impression that the timers were worked out.
So was I, and we did get people on those timers, and we did start the burn, but we did not successfully take the capture point. It was neutral before they even got on, before any of them were even on top of us.
User joined your channel. User joined your channel.
But that wasn't sufficient time, and again, I mean, they put a ton of people into that hex, and they kicked us out quite handedly. It wouldn't have mattered if I had full squad there
Absolutely.
or not.
No, I understand that. It's the point flip, yeah.
Yeah. The point flip was they successfully interdicted Raven's Landing, and they did it very, very effectively, which was that really kind of that botched the whole mountain for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I actually have to go. I have to go pick somebody up from the airport, but I just want to point out, if I had to say one thing on this, I would say it was just overarching strategy misplay. We misplayed very terribly, especially with the air.
I think,
and that really fucked up both the middle and the north part of the map. We weren't prepared for that mass airplay at the start, and then people just sort of got on the back foot and stumbled around for a while. I'm sure you noticed that we managed to slow down the bleed and recover reasonably quickly, but that opener was something we weren't prepared for.
In future times, if we're going to have this work gate at on Amrish, I think the middle becomes a little bit. I mean, NC Arsenal is the most important, but I think the middle becomes more important in the south. Just because we can't do the interdiction strategies at Tumas, we can't do the interdiction strategies on the middle of the map that we can from the western warp gate, and so we have to put more emphasis on getting the middle, and less on the south. I think if we're gonna hold the air, because we all know the middle is the key to the air.
One of the things that I noticed about the middle as well is that quite often during all this planning, it was said that we would have anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds, which I thought was kind of unbelievable that we would be able to be on Raven's Landing and even on Lithcor before they got there with the setup that was going to be played. And I have to say that there is absolutely no way they arrived almost exactly the same time that we did at both locations.
Yeah, I think I had enough time. My squad at Ravens had enough time to neutralize the capture point, but we just did. They got there with too many people to successfully complete the capture, and I mean that really set us back a pretty good margin.
And we also pretty much landed on Lithcor. Maybe had like a second or two to get in position, and they were already on the point capped. So.
User disconnected from your channel.
Right.
Well, and I would just say I think we knew. Hindsight is entirely 20/20 here.
Yeah.
But, we knew that Cobolt had very, very good air.
Yeah.
And we didn't really try to counter that in any way. We didn't.
Honestly, from the air's perspective, we felt massively outnumbered everywhere we went.
Well, and they clearly had more than one platoon of air. It's not. I don't blame that on you guys. I'm just saying, I mean, we should have recognized in the previous server smash, if you watched it, there was a lot of air going on in all of Cobalt's server smashes. And I mean, we didn't
It's always been hard to estimate just how much they've run with, because it would logically seem stupid to run with more than a platoon of air. And I would agree that normally it is. However, this time they came into it incredibly well, and the way they'd set up was much better than they have previously. It was a much more targeted use of air because of their high altitude dowels. That was a huge change.
Yeah, and someone mentioned midway through that maybe they were, they actually had ground people in the air. Like, one squad out of every platoon is going to run PPA, scythes, and just ground pound and infantry farm. And that wouldn't surprise me either. But we knew in advance that was a possibility. We didn't do anything about it. All of us knew that was a possibility. And we didn't really... Yeah. I wasn't in all the meetings, but I did not hear any lengthy discussions about that, so...
There was some discussion about the Cobolt air situation. We did know that they were going to be a force to be reckoned with, and we did have a full platoon ready and aware to engage them. But we knew that engagement was going to be somewhere in between, say, the Ascent and NC Arsenal. Is anyone from the air platoon? Is Wycliffe here? He was leading it, I thought.
Yeah, he's been moved up to the interview channel.
Okay.
We have myself and hemoglobin. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know what
honestly, we didn't have the numbers or necessarily the cohesion to properly respond in the air. And
Yes.
once they had gained the initiative in the air, it was very hard to regain it, because as soon as
Right.
they gained air control, most of their
User
sides were
disconnected
about
from
10
your
foot off the
channel.
ground PPA spamming, and because of their air control, they could move spawn gals almost unpunished around the map. And that is something that they've never really had the ability to do before. And honestly, I wish Roy hadn't been putting all our tactics in Reddit all this time, but you know.
Well, I mean, at some
That's
point,
the way it goes, I know.
everybody plays the same way. Like, there's one way to play,
side,
they did it better than us.
On the plus side, it means they might come back next time.
Well, see, I do want to stress to y'all that there were, me being a rep, right? I see things y'all don't see. And Server Smash as we know it was probably going to die. Especially if we won this. The heart and the other servers was not there.
Whoa. So that was our strategy.
That was our
we
strategy.
lost this so that
Yeah,
we
we
can
lost
fuck
this
them
on
up
purpose.
more.
That works.
It is. That's
Done.
We lost to keep winning.
Honestly, I've been part of teams that have killed off all the competition in the game they're in. I did it in Battlefield 3 and to an extent in Battlefield 4 with the team I was in, and it's
Cough.
not fun.
Cough, cough, nuck, cough, cough.
I'm sorry, Team Synthic were significantly better than Nuck could ever hope to be in Battlefield 3.
So, I make no bones about it, definitely want to see what we can fix for next time. However, I want you guys to understand that that's the silver lining. We get to continue. Go ahead.
Just the biggest thing, and I've seen people say it in the chat a few times, but the couple of the biggest things that I noticed is that one, their gal superiority dropping on us was fucking awful. After they stomped the shit out of us in the first 10 minutes in that first push, it seemed like we really like ran out of gas immediately, and it took us about an hour to get our shit back together. On top of that, just the fact that like it almost seemed like maybe a third of our troops across the board just never got their shit back together. We were listening to people over command say that some of their guys weren't even paying attention anymore. I was watching the map with even my platoon, even with my squad leaders, 4 guys that I've played with several times that I trust every action that they do. Everything became sluggish, and it was just a bitch to try and get that momentum back. And even when we got it back, we were still getting our shit pushed in, and it didn't work.
User disconnected
to
from
be
your
honest,
channel.
we held at same territory for, what do you guys think, like 45 minutes onwards to about like an hour and a half?
Oh, absolutely. I'm not saying that we didn't get some momentum back. It was just like in a typical situation in every other match we've done, there was no part where if we lost something, we didn't push back twice as hard. And this was the one time we didn't.
Yeah, there were opportunities to make single small hops that I think were missed that could have added to it.
If I could say something real quick, along with the galaxies hovering above every base and constantly dropping troops, which people have mentioned, that was a big problem, but their air was also focused on wiping our Sundies as soon as they were deployed. We couldn't keep up a Sundie for longer than like 30 minutes, or 30 seconds, and you know, they were wiping our beacons really quickly, so anytime we pushed a base, we were relying totally on medics. We really didn't have that many spawn options.
There were a couple of bases in the south where if we were pulling Sundays, they were getting blown up in like 10 less than 10 seconds. It was super rough.
So, so over Arsenal, we actually achieved air dominance for a little bit in the general area. And
but even during that first 7-minute cap, they blew our air dominance away, and they had galaxies hovering over that base. So that's what ended up losing Arsenal for us, the galaxies hovering right in the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm saying we had it. Like we had what we saw all game, and then it eroded and it never went back up. And I tried hard with at least with my squad to balance.
Well,
Go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off here, but I think a lot of the reason that you saw us get air dominance is because they weren't trying for air dominance at that point over NC Arsenal. They didn't give a shit about NC Arsenal because we were just eroding that TR cap that had to happen regardless. So they were just letting that happen while they capped Araxicom Network and the one to the north, North Point.
Hey, yeah, we'll have another dealing next week, I'm sure.
All right, that sucked.
I think the biggest thing that we need to pull away from this is one, we've been pretty sportsmanlike throughout this whole thing. Both teams, where we don't talk shit if we win. We try and snatch our people up. We don't need to fucking be butthurt that we lost. We don't need to have any kind of problems come from this, especially in light of the fact that we lost. Like, it's going to look really bad on the whole server if, especially in front of Team 2, if we're the ones who start being butthurt, if you know what I mean.
Well, for Emerald, we have enough drama on live.
Yeah.
So,
we gotta...
I mean, what made you guys what you are at this point? Just saying we're the best, whether it came from Matherson, all the way to Watterson, all the way to Emerald, you just say it. You keep rolling with it. And it just happened, right?
And we're still the best. What the fuck are you talking about?
Actually,
Yeah,
I did...
That's what
we actually have the most territory still. Most territory capped in the Server Smash tournament.
No, we don't.
Well, no, I've noticed that too, is that, like, we went into the last two, like, we're gonna stomp the shit out of them. And this one, we're like, oh man, this is gonna be hard. And every other person I talk to is like, this is gonna be like Watterson again. We're gonna either barely win or barely lose. And we didn't have the confidence, in my opinion, that we had in the other two matches that we played.
So I do want to see stats. I don't want to get into other theories and all, but where's the stats for this? And let's
Anchor was the best weapon, best kills.
Yeah. Okay. Hey,
Yeah.
I do want y'all to try real hard with your folks tonight. I think it's amazing that we've been able to have a very reasonable conversation here. Let's try to keep it like that, because that's the only way back to the top. And that's what y'all want to be, right?
Also, rip my mod mailbox right now.
What are you talking about, man?
What's that,
Mod
Roy?
mail right now is going crazy
We're
on
still
our
on
planet
the
side
top.
because everybody's reporting all the Cobolt things that they're saying. So all the Cobolt threads are getting auto-removed by auto-moderator because everybody's reporting them. Mod mail right now is going crazy. It's pretty funny.
Wait, so is Cobolt really going out there and just being complete shitters about this?
Yeah.
That's actually
It's not that
disappointing.
big of a surprise.
Well, it's disappointing. I mean, you'd think...
I'm enjoying the hypocrisy of it all.
Was there anything else, Roy, you wanted to talk about the match?
Yeah, we just need to figure out. We need to. There's
Be known until it happens.
Yeah. Weren't telling me where they were going on matches. There was way too many times.
I already told him as well.
Ask where are people?
Yeah.
Like because.
Yeah, we're kind of doing an AAR right now.
So we can improve.
Looking at it from
Every single platoon didn't tell where.
Yeah.
At least once every single platoon.
There's nothing to talk shit about. We just got fucked.
Ask people where they were at, what they were doing. That should not happen. Straight up. Tell me where you're going. I'm okay with you guys moving around. Just tell me where you're going. And I said that before. I'm gonna say it again.
You all got bent over, you know, there's not really any shit talking you can do.
We got bent over on the mountain. They got bent over where they were. It's just our bases were easier to hold.
Channel switched.
Absolutely not, T-Fat.
Absolutely not. No, this was the hardest match. It was the closest match. Team 2 barely won it. They were like a single base cap away from completely losing and losing momentum. We managed to we lost momentum early, and we didn't get it back until mid game, and then it was a hard fight. And we actually made more gains than we think we lost in the second half. What happened to Crux? We had 60% pop there, and they didn't. There was just too much air.
So how do we need
so
something
Crux
to mitigate air that big.
Yeah, just
so
to make a note
down
on
south,
Crux.
Down south, we had BWC pull a squad of air. Good call, Hag, and it fucking worked. We're not the best pilots, but it was something, and it kept them off. And I don't know if that's something we can all do in the future, but it sort of worked.
The thing is, one thing, for example, I pull one river with Hornets and I kill a fucking stationary galaxy. That's fucking easy way to do it. Just pull air.
Yeah, there was also way too much complaining about galaxies that were hovering. You guys need to deal with those yourselves.
We did.
Air cannot be everywhere.
We ended up most effectively, instead of pulling ESFs, we pulled a couple galaxies of our own and just barreled on into them. Fucking wrestled them to the ground.
We pulled, at one point, Hayabusa, we pulled a double Walker Sundara just to try and mow some of their air down. It didn't last too long, but it was fairly effective when we did it.
The only thing that can really counter air is air. AA doesn't do that much. Air is too mobile.
Yeah, we can definitely
we
help
pulled
out.
Walker Saunders a couple times, and it didn't wipe them out, but it certainly got them to go away from the base that we were at for at least a minute or two, which helped a lot.
The biggest problem is the
keep 'em
hovering
off the
flight
base.
ceiling Sunderers that we've got to learn to deal with. When they're at flight ceiling, you can't hit them with almost anything.
That's true.
One of the things that we ended up doing up there at McCalla is I was getting sick of the air and the inability to call in our air because they were all over the place trying to take care of shit. So I had my guys, because when I got there, I had thought that they blew up their own turrets. So I went up to the top of that crow's nest on my own and checked on those turrets, and they were still up there. So I had my guys hack out those turrets and take them, and all I had them do was sit on those 4 anti-air turrets. Their scythes were gone the whole time until they blew them up. Everything was gone. All the air was gone. They didn't want to go near it.
Well, I think
my
takeaway here is that our first instinct is to pull flak.
User
I did it often, and my guys did it often, and when I think back, I really didn't get many kills out of it. And we could have been pulling Reavers, massing with the Reavers and coming in instead of pulling the Sundays. Like, when you say pull air, or not pull air, pull any air, like Walker Sundays are cheap, 200, right? Maxes are, what, 450? That's the game we played against past servers, was force them to burn all the resources on something dumb. And I did it in my squad incorrectly by pulling flak.
User disconnected from your
The
channel.
thing is, I mean, you can argue too that you can easily pull some AA maxes, and then once the air bugs off, you switch them to AIAV and move on. Like,
that's the theory, but it never happened,
right,
because we were never actually able to get the kills.
Well, that was kind of what I was getting at with those turrets, is those turrets were free.
Yeah.
There's usually one in every base. It can give you some area denial, like somebody else was saying. It may not kill it, but if you start, I mean, it's a question of how many resources are you going to pull to deal with their invested resources and their invested spawns.
And the one time we really took auxiliary back, we pulled the 4 air turrets there too. We took those away from them, and that kept the air away pretty nicely too. I didn't look at where the other fights on the map, just where my main force was the whole time, but it sounded like no matter what kind of anti-air we pulled, it didn't really help.
Yeah, no, it's not about anti-air. It's about countering their air with air. We need to figure that out.
User
we got wrecked in
joined
the
your
air.
channel.
That's just, when it comes down to it, the reason why we weren't able to keep moving forward was we kept getting wrecked in the air.
Is it true that they pulled 2 platoons of air in the opening?
It felt like it most of the time, but we have no way to determine actual numbers. But we felt heavily outnumbered everywhere we went.
I will say they were extremely effective at moving their air around at the very beginning towards the space is about to cap in 2 minutes. We're going to move it here and then move it to somewhere else where the base is 2 minutes.
Disconnected from your
and just
channel.
keep shading that so air was always there when we would be reinforcing.
What I was thinking about halfway through the match is one of the things that Emerald's kind of known on is our quick redeploys to take places that, you know, like our quick redeploys, and it seems like they beat us every time on that one. Like, their redeploys were way faster than ours. They redeployed smarter, it seems like. I'm not sure if that was on Roy or the platoon leads or both, but it was definitely something that I noticed, is that we were too damn slow on those.
Yeah, I was noticing that as well. I would call
Goku
a
had some
redeploy.
fantastic redeploys down south. Props for that. You guys were super helpful too, Cap.
Thank you.
I was noticing it felt very squishy because I would call out a base to redeploy, and we would
User
get there.
disconnected from
We
your
would
channel.
have the numbers, and then we would still lose the base. We lost at least 6 bases that way, with over 60 to 70%. And I know command chat probably heard me constantly like, we have 60% of population on this base. Why are we still losing it? Because it's been ours for. We had population for over a minute and a half on that base, or over a minute on that base, and we still weren't able to take it.
Well, what I was saying was when we had high population base, it was because our air was there. Like when we were at Arcs Reserve, we redeployed there because we're like, oh, there's why do we have 60% there? We're still losing it. So I sent my squad over there, and there was no one on the ground. There were like 2 platoons in the air, doing fuck all over the point. Like we need to not rely on those pie charts as much. I need to actually be talking with the air because it still takes up population. but it's
nobody was
not
telling me
on
where
the
they were
ground.
going.
User joined your
That comes
channel.
back to the other problem earlier. No one told me where they were going, which that was kind of. There's two parts to the way I force command. One, you can go where you need to go if you feel like you need to go there. But two, tell me where you're going so I can allocate forces.
See, that's another good point, because I noticed that Roy was giving us a lot of commands. We were responding to those commands, but like, if we moved our own forces because we saw the opportunity, we didn't really tell Roy as much as we probably should. And I think that's part of the reason why a lot of our platoons got spread out too thin.
Because you guys were redeploying when you guys weren't talking to me. Because I could have easily moved a unit somewhere to cover where you guys are leaving. So, alright, well, we improve next time. That's all we can say. Like, do better next time. I'm really happy. I'm actually kind of happy we lost at least one of them, because we would have
joined your channel.
We were getting too comfortable with how we played, so now we do better.
We do need specifics in the future, like about what we're gonna do with with mass air, like how each platoon is gonna respond to it. Also, when I'm going through reading, I want to say that Cobolt does a handful of practice. Like, I'm sure some of you guys do a little bit with your platoons, but maybe a little bit.
Okay, so
of
I know I've brought this up a couple of times, but I think now's the time to bring it up again. Team 1 versus Team 2 match? I mean, we've lost already now, so there's no shame.
Oh,
we can do it now.
I'm actually kind of curious of, not really a sanctioned service match, but like a rematch.
No, it wouldn't be sanctioned, obviously. It would be a scrimmage, but I think it would be a lot of fun.
I think we would have to do it to practice. I think a practice service match would be nice.
Yeah, I think I would definitely like a practice service match between Team 1 and Team 2, and now that we've already lost, I mean, what do we have to lose at this point?
But do we have the amount of people actually to do that? Because I've been called to actually play in the other team with Farm.
User in your channel
Yeah,
down.
well, we would figure it out, but this is not the time to discuss it, I don't think. We're still going to have a debrief meeting. This wasn't 100% debrief. This is immediately afterwards, figure out what happened. We're going to have a debrief meeting probably Wednesday, maybe, Negator? I think that's good.
Sounds fun to me.
So we're going to sleep on this for a few days, figure out what went wrong, what we can do to improve. And then, yeah.
You might want to stay off Reddit for like the next week or two or a couple months.
The Flame Roy threads have already started.
I am really impressed how many of you guys, or how many people are reporting these threads, and my mod mailbox is going crazy right now, because auto-moderator removes if you get a certain number of reports in a certain amount of time. So, like, the rate at which people are reporting these threads is really high, and it's just going crazy.
Well, I mean, we need to make sure that we're not being super obnoxiously salty on these things, because
nobody in this channel is being super obnoxiously salty.
No, I know, I'm saying, and that's good.
However, fuck Will Terry, he is super salty. He's blaming literally everyone.
I don't think there's anything that we can blame anybody over. It's just stuff happened that was completely out of our control.
Can I go ahead and blame the people?
There's a lot we can fix, but it's not like any one person, hey Roy, you did every single thing you did wrong, and you deserve all the blame. Nobody did that.
Well, it's good to have a fall guy, but...
Is it okay to be mad at those people?
Wait, what?
People who rage quit the match early?
Oh my god, yes. We had people rage quit?
Problems with that. Air had
We
problems
lost
with people
5 people before the 5-minute mark.
Look, I would
and
also
2 of
say
those were personal issues. I kept
people
track.
that fucking left once shit started going bad should not be playing in the future.
And I do know who left, and they won't be.
boy.
Whoever's leading, I'll tell you. But yeah, we lost 5 people before the 5-minute mark, and 2 of those were personal issues.
Yeah, like we've never had problems with keeping people in. We had somebody just leave without saying anything. So I was scrambling in the middle of the match to find people.
Yep.
Well, should
Hey,
I?
you know what,
I had
you
somebody
know what?
standing by.
All
that was
joking
dying
aside,
again.
right? All joking aside and people raging, I still had a blast playing in the Sever Smash. It was still a lot of fun for me, and I still really enjoyed playing with the guys in the southern lane and jumping about, redeploying like a madman all the time anyway. And I'll be happy to play again if we do actually have another Sever Smash as Team 2.
There's one last thing that I was hoping to point out. I just remembered. One of the people in my platoon, I can't remember who. In proximity chat, they pointed out that we were when we did redeploy, we weren't leaving anybody where we were to defend.
Yeah, there were.
We weren't getting on neighboring points fast enough. South was doing it just fine when they had momentum, and their air was not there. As soon as their air showed up, they had issues. But no one else, I feel, especially around the Black Shard area, when we kicked them out, they came right back.
I'm sorry, but the air was present in the south all game. They were when we lost the momentum in the south when they actually redeployed from the north to the south.
Oh, okay. So when they deployed more.
Yeah, we lost Pop.
Yeah, because the southern lane got all the way up to Wilcock Watchtower.
Yeah.
So they did beyond, like, way better. Like, I don't really want to compare between people, but they did way better than everybody else in the game.
I mean, I will say the northern QRF was in the south a few times too, but up north, the entire time, anytime we tried to move into those bases, it was just 50 PPA sites. Like, if you look at the stats, the PIPA sites had 2.5 times the kills of the Reavers. It was like 2,500 kills. It was a little out of control.
Air kept getting wiped. That was the problem.
Yeah. I mean, we were
the 10th weapon for kills.
Yeah. It was up in the north was where they were concentrating a lot of their air to ground, and that just didn't allow us to move up at all.
I don't think there was a single point.
But
I was gonna say I don't think there was a single point that they didn't have air control when they showed up when I was there. It was really annoying because we weren't able to keep roof control at any point.
It was the same for us when we were pushing into Blackshire Tungsten Mine and at Araxis Firearms Corp. You could not get to the points because of the PPA spam and the rocket pods.
We'll just have to deal with that next time because that's just gonna be life.
Yeah, of course.
We'll figure it out.
Like that always say that. What would we do? Rotate squads in the air?
Fucking get people in the air.
That's what we were doing.
And it worked.
So, can we set a date for the official debrief?
Wednesday?
Wednesday at 8, right? 8 East, next Wednesday?
Alright.
I love how Team 2 is the most salty. Not Cobolt. Cobolt isn't the most, we're the worst. No, it's Team 2.
I'm telling you, man, Team 1 versus Team 2. What do we have to lose at this point? Let's
shut
do
up,
it.
Too Fat. Weeb. One Team 2 is salty.
What?
One Team 2 is salty.
TIW and Volt.
Can we drop out of here, Roy?
Yeah, I'm done. I've been done for a while.
See you guys. Good stuff.
Good.
Yeah, later.
Hey, it's good playing with y'all even though we lost.
User left your
Yeah, no problem.
Good work, guys.
Honestly, it got to a point where I was just letting you guys vent, so...
User left your channel.
GG.
Roy, if you need to talk about it.
No, I'm good. I vented.
I'm still here.
No, if you want to come hang out with us on Go Mumble, you're welcome to.
Oh no, I'm actually gonna go get a burrito at Cadova.
Cards Against Humanity, anybody?
Oh, that's a good
and then I
show,
might stream
Duende.
Disconnected from your channel.
That was actually kind of a funny suggestion from Shackle to stream Sudoku.
User left your channel.
Yeah, do that. I would watch that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna get food because I need lunch, and then
Thanks for the game. Goodbye.
Yep. Good game, guys.
See ya.
Well played.
GG.
User disconnected from your channel.
How did you guys go on Ecus?
Yeah, AA harassers aren't bad, but we can't handle an entire enemy air zerg.
Yeah, we gotta work some kind of rotation then.
Well, we need to use Skyguards more too. When we pulled Skyguards, we were able to push, but that didn't happen much. It was
Skyguards don't work particularly well.
Not for everything, but
your channel.
They helped when
User
we were
disconnected
one of those
from your
pushes we
channel.
did on those push where we got to like 45 seconds on Fortress. We were using Skyguards and Walker Sundays, but yeah, I mean the other times we took bases, it was because we had a bunch of Reavers up that were hitting their galaxies. But
Yeah, I honestly think the single biggest thing in the early game was they had galaxies over literally every single base we were trying to defend or attack.
Yeah. was crazy.
When we hit Crux, at the very beginning of the game, when we hit Crux, we had planned to drop a Sunday under the tree, to give us some support to return to, right, as we were heading Network Hub and Bastion and all that stuff. Against Miller and against Connery, this was easy peasy. Well, so when we got and pulled our bus, we had already a platoon of air above us. The bus was killed, the terminal was hacked, and Network Hub had already been outpopped with air and infantry. So that's what we started going in with. We got basically fucked up in every single turn because we are, we're great harasser squad. You need infantry, you need combined arms, you need air to help you, you need everything to help you when you're doing this shit. So this is exactly what I thought would happen. I have to say, we got lucky that Miller and the other servers have not played that hand. So yeah, we kept going back and forth. We did a lot of, misdirection. We took compound and substation and AFC back and forth. But ultimately, yeah, it was just crazy air. And no tanks. Not true. Maybe 12 Maggies at the tech plant at McCalla, but that was about it. They knew that they don't have to play the ground game because we're amazing at the ground game. So play to our weaknesses, and that was the air and infantry. Oh, and one other thing, Sunder parked horizontally, or I guess vertically, at the gate shield diffuser entrance. That was what fucked us up a lot because we couldn't get into that base because they had those two buses parked that way. We don't do that on Emerald. No faction does that, it seems, because we only seen it. This is the first time I've seen it here. I've seen it a couple times on Cobolt. Totally forgot about it. Anyway,
what base is that?
That was McCalla Tech.
Is that just started happening since the shields became?
That was when they had so they captured, right, because they captured the tech plant and then they parked their buses so that you couldn't defuse through the bay, not the vehicle pole on the other side, but just the regular bay where the point is.
It's a bloody good move, to be fair.
It's a bloody fucking good move. Yeah, no, we couldn't get in. We ended up. I actually pulled a bus. I pulled a GSD bus just to be able to take mines. I drove in just to be able to take the mines that went off and see how many buses were inside. That's how I got in. There was 4 buses inside, and then a couple on the doorways.
I may not be correct, but I believe C4 might go through the shield.
Yeah, I have no idea. This I don't know. So I know that if you're running EOD and a guy drops mines outside on the other side, that's compromised. I don't know enough about. I haven't done any testing to see what deals with that situation.
Yeah, no, I don't know for sure. I think it might.
Maybe a jihad bus, put some C4 on the front of your bus, drive into it that way. I don't know.
All right, guys, take care. Thanks.
See you, Dewey.
Cheers, Dewey.
Disconnected. Disconnected.
Okay, what are you doing? Yeah,